So, talking about empathy, one of the next steps was to come up with a list of all the different ways which you and me could take action on learning more about empathy. So, I'm going to go through the list now. And some of these vary as far as how actionable they actually are. And I'll try and break them up into themes. But there's a few. So here's my ideas, and I would love to hear some more of yours. So, empathy in action. Replaying my quick definition of empathy, it's the act of putting yourself in someone else's shoes, or to experience life from their perspective. So I thought, what better way of doing that is literally doing that, wearing someone else's shoes. And I thought, why not take it a step further? Why not wear someone else's shoes and their clothes? Obviously, the intent behind this one is to, I guess, just have a different perspective to actually do that. So, more physical thing, put someone else's shoes on, actually go out there and do that. Get out there and try and experience the world as though you are someone else. One of the things that you could do within that is volunteer as well. Go to a place and try doing something or do someone else's job that'll give you a different perspective, help build your ability to empathize with other people like that. One of the other things is try something that's hard. Share it with someone. So doing maybe a workout together, as an example. That's an opportunity to build empathy for other people and how they're experiencing things. Love you. Walk.
Let's go! Give those who just finished time to cool down. Everyone else want to grab a disc and throw for it. Oh yeah. Hey, thanks, Jack. Hey, thanks everyone. It's been real.
This guy,
It's been good.
He did good. We're both.
I was out, and then I saw both Lockie and Dad on the ground. I'm like, I
can do one more.
I can do one more.
Yeah.
Alright,
So those are, I guess, the more literal ways of actually getting out there and doing it. One of the other sort of themes that I was thinking about was the idea of discussing, learning, and reflecting on how to build empathy. So there's a bunch of ways that you can do this. One is actually going and talking to someone about their life, their experiences, trying to understand what things are like for another person. That can help you build empathy. Walked past some people on the way here that I thought would be really good to just chat to. Recording some people and just asking them about how their day's going and stuff. Is it okay if I have a chat to you? Yeah? Okay. Curious, during your day, what do you do?
Oh, nothing much.
Nothing much?
No. I came in from Lower Hutch and I live in this place over winds and I've got anxiety, I've got a heart failure problem.
Oh wow.
And I'm on a visit.
Okay. So a few things going on here. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you come in from Lower Hutt most days?
I live over the road here, this lodge.
Yeah.
This lodge.
Yeah.
I was moved on a week ago.
Yeah.
I need support with my problems and I'm on Windsor Bay for the couple days.
Yeah, so you're getting support? People are helping?
No,
Yeah.
at the moment.
That's on the cards though?
Always on the cards.
Yeah.
How long have you had your conditions for?
About 3 years, had a heart attack and
Oh, wow.
my drinking and my smoking has caused me, I'm 57, but
Yeah.
caused me over my lifetime, smoking and drinking alcohol caused me a bit of a heart attack. And I attacked me about 2 years ago.
Okay.
To Palmy Hospital for a long time and out there.
Yeah.
But I'm slowing down on the beer and I don't want to smoke much, but I've got to be, it's quite serious that I just take it easy.
Yeah. I imagine that's pretty tough, is it, to sort of go through that? Yeah. What part do you find hard?
Because well, I'm a man, like, without children or a wife. I never, like, people ask me, like, with a wife, wife or children. No, I haven't. So, see what I mean? I haven't had a wife or children in my life, so I sort of enjoy it. But
something else.
it's you like you say, it's a bit not easy.
Okay, that's right.
But I just feel lonely. I'm new here. I came here to see a week ago. So
you're saying that.
All those people here I don't even know yet.
Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. What's your name again?
Lockie.
Lockie.
Yeah.
Okay, you off, aren't you? Yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Tony.
You're welcome to call in.
All the best.
Anytime. Thank you.
See ya. There we go. That was a chat with Tony. Part of my strategy to just build a bit more empathy to people. Someone from a very different situation, stage of life to me, and hangs out at this place, the lodge. But kind of, I don't know, eye-opening, really. And I guess the whole time just trying to understand for him, like, his, I don't know, struggles in a way
that can help you build empathy. Hosting something like a Twitter space or a clubhouse that you can just get people in to talk about their views of empathy, to not only further define what it means for you, but also to build, I guess, an understanding of what the topic of empathy means.
Right, you're going to have big businesses start coming in, and I think it's going to be really especially up to us to make sure that this space stays open for the smaller artists, and I think empathy is going to play a huge role in that.
Yeah, I really like that point, because I think for me that's something that I've been thinking about a lot, and to be fair, I'm not sure if I can pull it up right now, but like I had a tweet a little while ago about like the bell curve, the like adoption cycle within like any natural change or growth or evolution of something, that like because we are so early and so new to like a space like this, that there is this almost, I don't know if responsibility is the right word, but probably it is, like a burden that we, if we choose to shoulder it, should carry around, like how do we actually, behave in this community, or at least try and exemplify the ways that we should sort of operate. And I think and that's, I don't know, for me, I assume both of you have a copy of Gary's book. If you don't, I have a few which I can send you, but like
You can send it to Bakamam. I'm kidding. You should write anytime soon, though.
I'll do it, man. I'll do it.
I don't know, but they're coming.
Good. I'm glad to hear. But it is like, it's kind of interesting, right? Because a lot of, at least in my experience, business and the previous world has been dominated by this narrative around making profit or growing new markets and stuff, and it's less about how do we actually value the humans behind a lot of this stuff, and how do we actually make sure that, it, like at the end of the day, like society in a way runs on the humans that are contained within it, and that if we're not
looking out for what's best for them and hopefully what's best for the community in general going forward, then I feel like we're missing a bit of an opportunity.
Just generally talking to your friends, your family about what empathy is. Maybe even asking nature.
I have too much of it. How do I get good at it? I don't know. I think I was born with it.
Recently, and then she's written some for young adults, which
I have too much. You can have some of mine.
Just like that.
Just like that. Take it.
that equally challenging and difficult topics.
Pretty cool museum. Did you know this was here? Or going?
No,
No.
I haven't really been out this way much more. But yeah.
Reflecting on what life is like for them. Talking in discords doesn't have to be verbal. Can be written. Going through the process of doing that and just reflecting and in a way being curious about what other people's lives and perspectives are like. I hang out a lot in discords, and I find it really great to just create discussion. I have posted some polls on Instagram asking my small audience how they would define empathy and go about improving it. That's another way you can do it. So that I guess is the more interactive, experience-based learning. So actually going through the process of trying to do it collectively. Other things that I was thinking about that is more perhaps individualized that you can do to be mindful and reflect. Stuff like watch movies. For me, growing up, movies and media have been such a huge part of my upbringing, my shaping. But even watching like something on Netflix or a TV show, and not just watching it for being there, but with the perspective of trying to understand, what a character might actually be feeling, what it would be like for them in that situation, and really trying to get visceral with the experience that you're having. Yeah, it's late at night. I just got done watching a movie called Dune, however you meant to say it. I'm wandering home. Worth a watch if you haven't seen it. I enjoyed it. But I guess on the topic of being present, mindful, with empathy, and this isn't me actually doing it, it's me reflecting on it, so hopefully it's okay. But I had, I guess, a few not quite eureka moments, but just really interesting moments there. So the movie itself is effectively about house politics, but sort of around the concept of one house coming to a planet, and I guess about their struggles, their stories. I'm not going to reveal too much about the movie because it is well worth seeing it. But there's parts of it where they interact with the local indigenous population called the Freeman. And I guess there's a few passages in the film, it's based off a book, where I guess the characters have to adjust or get used to the way of things, how it's done, which is different to how they operate life. So it's, I don't know, it's just kind of one of those weird moments of, in this particular culture on the planet Dune, it's a giant desert planet. Water is very
very scarce and precious. And a lot of their, I guess, cultural habits are built around that. And I guess for me, like, one of the interesting reflections when it comes to empathy and building it in particular is, I guess, keying in on what people value or what they, I guess just, their lens for how they see the world. And for you to try and look through that lens, or try and put yourself in their seats, their feet. So yeah, it's kind of one of those cool things of just seeing a character journey being told through that, and sort of those, I guess, empathy moments playing out on the screen, which then in turn you, as a viewer, can reflect and can learn about this. So yeah, just kind of nice being present.
Another sort of building on that idea is listening to podcasts or shows, particularly from, I guess, backgrounds that you might not be from. So trying to add a bit more diversity to your perspective when it comes to empathizing with other people and having compassion with their experiences and perspectives. Part of the journey to be more empathetic is getting out and exposing yourself to different cultures. In New Zealand, we have the Māori, the native people. This is one of the fantastic quotes, all about standing together despite our differences, and learning about the amazing history and carving that they have. This is an example of a whare waka, so a place where people live and reside and have these amazing detailed wooden carvings. And it's just good to think about the past, the history, which you can read all about. So one of my tips for being more empathetic: go to a museum, learn from history. It repeats. You can understand about those who have gone before. You get to see some amazing art. So even if you can't travel, you can still go out and explore. So that's one of my empathy in actions. Trying to learn from those who have gone before and understand the history of New Zealand. And another one that I was thinking about was the actual act of trying to write the stuff down. So write a short story as though you're from another perspective, that you have to empathize with a character that you're creating and really try and capture the feelings, the emotions that they might have. This is a backstory I wrote for Lola from the Port of Women project. The idea was to try and empathize with a different story or perspective. For me, in general life, there's also an opportunity to just build empathy, to be present, to be mindful, and to just think about life from other people's perspectives. So asking open questions, being curious with other people through conversations, that's really important to build that. Just having a scan through my list now to see if there's anything else that I've missed. I think that's kind of a good smattering. So general themes. First one, take it literally. Actually do stuff with other people and be in the experience with them. Number two, take time to reflect and to actually discuss with other people and collectively build a shared understanding. Number three, consume content, experiences from other media. Oh, I forgot. Actually go and travel and get yourself out there. Being another big theme, And then the last sort of bucket for me is kind of just being present and mindful and aware of the fact that empathy is something that is a practice, at least for me. It takes time to develop, it takes time to experience things from other people's views, and to actually get out there and action and do that. So that for me is my quick crash course, my list on empathy, and hopefully that helps with you around how you can actually go out there and build empathy and make empathy a more important part of your life than just experiences. So this has been Lockie talking about empathy in my garden at home. Thank you for listening, and good luck with your journey around becoming more empathetic.
Last day walking to work for the Moral Monkey contest finishes. It's Christmas time, obviously. New Zealand, that means it's very sunny and summery out. And it got me thinking, unfortunately, I don't think I'm about to do anything about it right now. But it'd be cool to, as part of Christmas, be kind of like a, surprise Secret Santa. To talk to people on the street and give out gifts. Not quite empathy, but perhaps it's an act of showing compassion or doing things for them. It's hella windy, and I'm worried my antlers are gonna grow away. But for now, happy holidays, and keep being kind. And I'm going to be practicing my mindful empathy on the way to work.